All right, guys, what is this? All right, let's talk about it. All right, so let's go into this right here, guys. So I'm gonna explain what this right here is. I don't know if you guys are getting a real good look at it. Let me see. This is what it looks like. Of course, what they did was they went in and took a picture of it. They put a clear screen so you can see what's going on the internal mechanisms of this product. But I think that with the way we're building homes today, guys, this is absolutely mandatory. And let's get into it. Let's kind of look at this right. I didn't mean to do that right there. But let's get into it. Let me grab it. Got a couple different things I want to show you guys. So here it is. Let's put it here. Alright, guys, so what you got here is this is an ERV, energy recovery ventilator. And what these bad boys do is because we make the houses so tight in today's market, these right here take the air from the outside and then it exchanges air from the outside to the inside. And it's constantly moving the air from the outside to the inside of the house, keeping the house to where you have positive pressure. That's number one. You don't have negative pressure, but it keeps that air. And guys, when you have negative pressure in a house, let's just say that's your ears will pop or something like that. You shut the door and another door moves, things like that. So you want to always have positive pressure. So what's happening? You need a constant exchange from the inside to the outside. And just see, make sure my mic is on. I thought my mic was on, but that's good. But yeah, you got to have that constant movement of air. Houses have to have what they call they have to have a blower door test, which makes sure that the houses are extremely tight. But if a house is extremely tight, that means you're not allowing any air from the outside to mix in with the air on the inside. Your HVAC unit doesn't do this. Your unit doesn't do this. The unit just continue to recycle the air that's on the inside of the house. Just keep recycling and keep filtering and recycling and pulling the humidity out of the air that's on the inside of the house and just keep recirculating that same air, which is not good, guys. You got to have fresh air, guys. We spend probably 90%, probably even 95% of our time inside. Even the kids. Kids don't go outside anymore. They don't ride bikes and do things the kids do and stay out until the street light comes on. But we all spend most of our time in the house. So it's good to have the best quality air that you can have inside of your house. And the best way to get that air is to constant pull fresh air from the outside. Now, the cool thing about this is when you're pulling that fresh air, what this does, especially in a place like Alabama where I'm from, we have mixed humidity. So we have a lot of moisture that's in the air. And when you pull that air in, you're not putting an additional load on your HVAC unit. So, if you pull moist air into the house, you're going to create another load. Now your unit has to take that moist air out of the house that you didn't pull it in. If you just simply put a pipe in, a 4-inch pipe is what we usually have, and just suck in fresh air to the unit, that's not good because, like I said, you got that moisture. Now your unit got to work extra hard in order to remove that humidity, because that's another priority of your unit, your HVAC unit. It removes humidity from the air, which really what makes you uncomfortable. But you don't want to do that. This is why you need a energy recovery ventilator. And what this does is it actually conditions that air, pulls the humidity out, dumps it in there. And this thing is constantly running. It's not like it ever stops. Once it turns on, and you don't want to hear it. You don't want to have that hum that's bothering you that's hearing it. So these things are very quiet, and they're removing that moisture from the house. They pulling the exterior air into the house. They removing the humidity, and then they're exchanging it with the inside. It's a constant flow, guys. So, this is needed, and a lot of builders are not doing this. These things probably run about $1,200 to do. Builders don't want to do it. Plus the local building codes. In most cases, they do understand now. They understand that you got to pull you got to make these houses extremely tight. But they hadn't gotten into this right here yet. So you have a lot of houses that's being built to these local tight codes. They require blower door tests now. Even in Alabama, guys, most of these municipalities, they require blower door tests, and it has to meet a certain score, which is really tight. But they're not making builders put these in yet, which is going to create a whole nother set of problems in probably another 10 to 15 years. Let's keep going. All right. So that you're not. Also, guys, I apologize for the background noise. I'll try to edit that out. Have to condition the air twice when it comes on the inside. This is a very good product. I think all houses should have these right here, especially with the way we're building so tight now. Yeah. So this is the one that I usually get. I used to buy this one right here. This is the one I usually get right here. And I think this covers about 600 square feet. You can see. But you can get them. You can get a bunch of different ones. But this is the key, man. These energy efficient homes that we have. And I said, let's sit on that. Let me see if I got a little bit more of a video. Let's look at this right here. This may be something else. All right, guys. So this right here. Let's look at this right here for a second. I got a couple of products I want to kind of show you guys, but I need to change my little subject banner. We call this engineered lumber. Here. Engineered joists, and hangers. So this right here was something I saw at the build show, guys. And I'll be honest with you, man, the build show is a whole bunch of solutions to problems that builders run into. And so this is another problem that sometimes some builders run into. Let me just kind of talk about this right here. So why is this right here a good thing, guys? Okay, so what you're looking at, number one, you also have a header. One of these trusses over header. It's an opening. And then the other trusses are ceiling joists, or you can also have them as flooring joists. Well, the good thing about this right here is one thing that you want to try to do, if you can do this, is you want to put your HVAC unit in conditioned space. Okay, so if you can get that now, this guys where I'm from, they're not going to do this right here, guys, and it's going to be very rare that you have a builder that's going to think through this right here. But the best way to do it, in my opinion, and not worry about so much duct leakage, is to make sure all your runs and your HVAC supply lines is in conditioned space. Your HVAC unit is also in conditioned space. That way, if you do have any duct leakage, it's not leaking out and cause your house to be inefficient. This right here serves as, it does two things for you. The first thing it does is It allows you to, if you need to put your unit in the attic and do a downflow and run your, as you can see these, you can see in this picture, you can see the supply lines to your from your HVAC going through the floors. You can put your ductwork through the floors. You can put piping and things like that. Electrical stuff makes it really easy for your electricians to run their wires. They're not drilling holes through the flooring joists. You know, really, to be honest with you guys, I don't really want my MEPs, mechanical electrical. I really don't even like for them to even have to drill holes anywhere. Because in most cases, guys, they're not going to be as concerned about the structural aspect. Because guys, at the end of the day, you're going to have to get you're going to have to do your framing, inspection, and you know all those guys are going to get a chance to get through all your lumber and your framing members. But this right here takes that away. You don't have to worry about these guys coming in and cutting through a flooring joist and not doing it right. You know, the code, you know, if you go in the RC, it tells you how to notch and how to, you know, cut through and how big the cuts should be, especially when you're going through those flooring joists and ceiling joists. So this right here is a solution to that problem, guys. So you don't have to worry about that with these right here, guys. So this is a good little product here. I've used this right here before, and I think I'm gonna use it on my next house that I'm building as a spec. So let's get more into it. You gotta run all your pipes and these trusses. It's better for your roofing system. I mean, ceiling joists. And look at here, guys. So this right here, gosh, man, this right here allows you to drop those joists down. You know, just like hangers, regular hangers. I'm sorry, those trusses, which are joists, flooring joists as well. But it allows you to drop them down with those hangers. I mean, look at that. You can put that looks like an LVL beam or something like that, man. This is you can just set it right on top of that load bearing wall. These let me see if I got any other thing. I had one, maybe I had one or two more things that I wanted you guys to see as well. Oh, so this right here, guys. Let me just, I don't know if so guys, this is a common problem right here. Now, a lot of builders use what they call the zip system, where they come in and they you know, because guys, we have to pass a blower door test, and the easiest way to pass the blower door test, let me just see if I can, I don't know, let me see if I can find this right here for you, man, because I think this right here, give me just a second, let me see if I can, and I got to do it while I'm live. Let me see if I can pull this up. You know, if I can pull this right here up. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with the zip system. Let me see if I can find one real quick, like, which I've used that before. Well, I had a customer that kind of pulled me into it, building zip system, building. Let's see if we can find a good picture of it. You guys have probably seen it around town. A lot of the builders use it. Let me just see if I can do this commutation screen. It's not gonna let me do it. Tell you what, it's bad when I have to. Let me see if I can do this right here, right quick, like application. There we go. I'm gonna be able to do it, guys. There we go. There we go. And I'll tell you what. So this right here, I don't have my maybe not have my picture up here. But this right here is what you call the zip system. Let me just do this right here. Yeah, this is your zip system right here, guys. So I'm sure you guys have seen these right here, seen these houses right here. Let me go back to my screen before I mess up here. I'm already messing up. All right, so I have a problem with the zip system because we got a lot of humidity in Alabama. Humidity is going to wick through the wall. And I'm afraid that with that tape that you have on there, and I've worked with that tape with that zip system, that humidity is going to come out of the wall. It's coming from the inside of the house, going to the outside of the house, guys. Remember that molecules, they like to go to places where they like to go from less dense, they like to go from more dense to less dense. So they like to spread out. It's called entropy. And so the water molecules are always going to be trying to work their way out of that house. They're going to be trying to leave that house. So if you're inside of a house, it's going to wick through the wall, through the sheetrock, through the OSB sheathing material, which is your zip system. And then it's going to try to go on out, and then it needs to roll down and go through your, your flashing and things like that. Problem I have with the zip system in Alabama is that when that humidity is trying to move out, it's going to get behind that tape, and that tape is going to give. It's going to give, and eventually over time, and guys, I'm not talking about 2-3 years. I'm talking about 30 years or stuff like that. Eventually that tape is going to give. It's going to come loose, and now you got a problem. But it's happening behind the walls, behind the brick, or whatever side of material you put on the house, so you'll never see it. You just got moisture and stuff in a house that's not effective anymore because it's not as tight. The reason a lot of the builders, say for instance in this area, in the western area, use the zip system is because they don't have to deal with humidity like we have to deal with it. So when you do that zip system, it works here because it's the easiest way to make houses meet that blower door test requirement. The easiest way to do it. That way you get the house done. But in my opinion, well, not my opinion, I think this right here is a better product. A Tyvek. So this serves as an air barrier as well, guys. We can talk a little bit about that more a little later, but and let me just change my little banner here. What we just call it Tyvek. So this is number one. Let me see if I can just put this right here. I don't know if I can put this right here. Oh man, let's see if I can take this off. Minimize. So you can see right. So this Tyvek right here is thicker than the regular house wrap. So the regular house wrap you get from Home Depot, etc. It's not like this. This Tyvek right here can actually work as a air barrier as well if it's installed correctly. Okay. But regular house wrap doesn't like, you just go buy some from Home Depot, Lowe's. It's just not going to do this right here. So this right here actually serves as an air barrier as well. Then you got the flex wrap. So DuPont, this is DuPont. They make a little flex wrap right here that you can wrap around the window sills, guys. And I'll tell you what, man, this is, if you get a leak in that window, this is where you don't want that water to get in, right there in that little seal. So they make a flex wrap, which is another problem we have. Most of that tape don't bend. I mean, look at here with these pipes right here. You can bend this. I can't tell you how many of these guys get this wrong. But this tape right here can bend around and create an adhesive. There's another tape that I was looking at too, and I wish I had a film. It's called the frog tape. I think that's probably going to be the best product that you can come up with, guys. And I'm gonna investigate that one when I get back home. So this is what you got, guys. I think this is a good product. Let me just see if I got anything else on this right here. Yeah, here we go.
Reach out to the specialist network, which I'm a Tyvek specialist.
Get this right here. I actually teach guys. I teach students.
Utilize your local Tyvek specialist.
See, look at that. This is what you want right here, guys. This is what you want. You see how they cut this right here out. They got this up under it. You creating a positive flow where the water's going to go around, and I'm sure you're going to put a wrap around this right here window. Well, I think that wrap is going around that window right there, and it's curving.
Because that's what we do. We work with installers. We don't
Would
cost.
that be with the lumber supply company? Now you actually have to put your flashing in too, but the flashing goes into there's a little flange that comes out here. That's what the flashing goes on. So man, this is wow, this is awesome. Sales the product?
Yeah, they can get you in
Like
touch.
84 lumber sales time.
Yeah, they can get you in touch with whoever the local rep is.
I shouldn't have said 84 lumber, man. They don't like me. I'm just kidding. All right. Here's another product right here, guys. Let's see. Well, it's not a product. We've been using this right here for a while, but well, it is another little product.
The funny thing is, this stuff's been around for.
This little stuff right here, man. This stuff right here. You put a bead of it on the, you know, on the base plate and the top plate, and it creates a seal between the sheetrock that you put on the wall, and creates an air barrier there before your sheetrock guys get in there. But I can promise you, man, especially where I am, without you have to monitor those guys and teach them, especially drywalls installer. They'll just pull that stuff off. I mean, I tell you what, man, if you don't, they'll pull that stuff off thinking that they're doing something good, and they'll see it there, and they'll just pull it off because they don't understand it. You got to go, guys, all your installers, you're going to have to be right there with them the entire time, training them on how you want it done. And the sad reality is that they could do your house, and they can get it right because you'd explain it to them, and they'll go right back to the next house and do it wrong, and from then on until you see them again, and you have to train them all over again. So this is the problem that we deal with when you know with the sub trades, man. You got to have very savvy sub.
What I would base it to, this makes sense.
So you see that bead that's going around the windows and going right there. That's what I'm talking about.
Making people have to use it.
Another thing,
Exterior
and then the municipality
this
most of them, those guys are gonna, you know, they're gonna tear all that out too. I've seen sheetrock guys do that as well. They'll tear all that out, and it's not even effective anymore. It's almost like you gotta just foam insulate your house, man, in order for them. Municipalities are starting to really push this too.
Yeah.
The energy code, and they make you. You know something? Let me turn this thing around. There we go. Yeah, I'm surprised they're not making it do HERS ratings right now.
Do you guys have a statewide code in Alabama?
Well, you see how we got these? Look at that. We got seal around everything, man. This is what you want, man. This to get that thing just right. I kind of bounced out of there. All right, let me see if I got. I guess not. It's my computer slowing down. Don't want to work no more. Let's see. Jeez. Right. Yeah, got it right. All right. Guys, I got more to come. I think my next video, I want to do this guy right here. Let's see. I think it's. Let me just see what I did right here. What I talked about right here, guys. Just, geez. I can't, yeah, my computer's moving really slow now. All right, so let me see what I talked about right here. So guys, what I came to realize is that this whole thing, and I'll tell you what, man, I've probably seen more exhibits than I want to, but everything that I noticed that was here, it was a solution to a problem. So we have problems that exist, and you have to figure out the solution. Well, all these exhibits were just solutions to most of those problems. Okay. Yeah, so that's what I noticed, guys. Everything that I did here, guys, just everything, all of the exhibits. There's just so many exhibits, man. I mean, it was more than I could, than you can imagine, guys. It was just a lot of exhibits here. Let's see. IBS 2025. And but I think that the whole purpose of all of this was to create all the items that I've seen were just solutions to problems that you run into in the building world. When you're out here building, everything just don't shake up. And then not only that, guys, most of this stuff is really to try to foolproof a lot of what the subcontractors are getting wrong. A lot of the subcontractors, and guys, you got to understand that most subcontractors, they're going to do things the way they've been doing it for years. So they've been trained one way. They're not going to change. They're not going to pivot and change. In most cases, I'm not saying all. They're not going to. These guys, if they frame, this is just the way they frame. This is it. They're not going to pivot. They're not going to switch up. They're not going to change. And these, what you see at the home builders, at the International Builder Show, is just a way to create products so these guys can be thinkless. They don't have to think in order to get it right. So I got one or two more to come, man. I got a house that I want to show you guys. Once again, guys, like, share, subscribe. If you guys want to donate to this channel, you can see this right here. Once again, guys, I appreciate you guys for dropping in, and you guys have a good one.